extremely in the fight against ultras. But anyways, spawning here in the bottom left corner, we have from Lit Esports. It is Picur.
And then in the top right-ish, in UR Blue, we have Monk. So, one thing we haven't really talked about is Picur used to be on UR until like 2 weeks ago. So this is very much a battle of the team versus the former team. The betrayer versus the betrayed. I mean, not really betrayer, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I was on Composite, we had a player by the name of Smithy who left the week before who left for Team Guns N' Roaches the week before we were going to play Guns N' Roaches. Yeah, that was we made sure that Smithy lost that game. the guy that was set to play him, we had all of our diamond. Smithy was gold at the time. We had all of our diamond players practicing with this guy. We had him theory crafting. Smithy was known for DT, so we had every manner of DT rush. He stomped him. I mean, with that amount of preparation, yeah. So it's going to be interesting whether Monk he doesn't have the preparation, right? Because he didn't know he was going to play. But going to see whether Monk is able to bring that level of, you betrayed us. That level of, not rage, but
the pride.
Passion. Exactly. To this match. Then there's the fact that whenever Listel doesn't win, it's Monk who wins. So it's his territory. And I can't imagine he would be too happy sharing that.
Well, as for this map, I think this is definitely a better map for Monk. It's a lot more conducive for letting the Terrans take a fourth, which is something like, especially if you're a late game Terran like Monk, is something you really need to do is take that fourth, which a lot of Terrans have trouble with.
There is really no good way to take a fourth on that last map. I mean, I did not see a good one for it. Like, even for the Zerg, it's not great. That's one of the, where you want to finish on 3 base.
Yeah, and if a map's not good for Zerg taking a fourth, then it's pretty shitty for the other races too.
Yeah, okay, no, you're right. I was going to say, sometimes it's because of Roach Ravager competition, it's very hard for, or like Protoss and Terran can be a bit more mobile, but even then, yeah, it's pretty bad because we have creep, hopefully, if we've been doing it right. Is my Zerg bias showing I hope it's not. I'm doing my best to be impartial.
Yeah, you're being fairly impartial. You haven't said anything that made me see the teeth yet.
About how the fact that Zerg is the weakest race right now?
Yeah, I really think they need to buff a lot of Zerg units. I suggested previously they should give Banelings a Tunneling Clause. That would really help out Ling the Bane composition.
That would make me so happy. No, we just you need the what is it from the campaign, from the Heart of the Swarm campaign, with the Reaperlings, whatever it was actually called.
Oh, they can jump up the cliffs and stuff.
Oh, that would be. I mean, we effectively have that with Dropstone, so.
Yeah, I guess, but it's not as cool to watch.
No, it's not. And Picker's doing his darndest to go and try to catch that Reaper, and is it going to happen? Nope, it's not going to happen. No. However, Monk is changing it up this game. He has 2 extra barracks on the way. He's like, you know what? I don't like Ultralisks, so we are going to... And, actually, this is a excellent reaction to this, what he sees. I don't... How many gas do we have? It's a 4 gas. So this is 2 base Spire. All right, Picker's delaying it until the Reaper goes out. But what else can it be? I mean, it's 4:30, and there's a layer down, and it is 4 gas. Picker saw, or excuse me, Monk saw all 4 gas. If it's going to be a Nidus, it's 3. I believe it's 3 gas. I don't Nidus that much. So this means that having these 2 extra barracks means that Monk is going to be able to put a lot of pressure on, and heavy pressure deals with 2 base Muta very well, as you're really cutting corners, cutting army, cutting workers, in order to get these Mutas out.
Yeah. So I gotta say, from picur's side here, this was pretty smart to put his like a second base on the outside, because if he didn't have a Reaper scouting around, a lot of Terrans would have just seen like the second base at the normal third base location and just assume he's on three bases already, but he wasn't. So just a pretty smart move from picur.
Well, actually, I mean, getting that exposed third has become relatively standard in ZVT now because of that, and that also because if you have the creep and the vision on the low ground, it makes Reaper play much harder. It makes it slightly more vulnerable to all-ins, but I mean, if they're all-inning you, it's unlike with most Zerg tech, it's unlikely that the ramp is going to help that much.
Yeah, especially if you're going for two base Muta like he was.
So we do have Monk pushing up across the map with a small force, likely at the very least wanting to clear up some creep, and he should be able to force the Mutas to not go across the map. Right? There are 8. There are no more on the way, and these oh, there we go. So we have a stim coming out, creeps getting cleared up, and Mutas are where are they? There we go. Mutas are going to try to sweep around and pick off some reinforcements, but that is too many Marines for these Mutas to deal with. And sure, we have 6 Banelings done, and Baneling speed halfway there, but really these are Slowlings, and that is, I mean, Slowlings are trash against splits. And even now, so as much as Monk has not done a ton, I mean, he got a Queen, he's cleared up some creep, which is good in and of itself. He's forced the Mutas to not attack him, which is fantastic because he has missile turrets up now, and these Mutas are going to get a whole lot less done. Although, man, I wish the Terrans I played against didn't just respond to Mutas with getting mass liberators. So much happier. I mean, sure, I just build a bunch of Banelings and steamroll them and roll over them with that, but liberators are scary.
Yeah. Monk is also supply blocked right now. You can see him building 3 depots. This is a pretty important time for him to be producing units as well.
And this is kind of the time where more than anything you see supply blocks, about like 90-100 supply.
Yeah.
Because your economy has caught up, or your economy has really finished for the most part. I mean, look, we're at like 53 workers. It's not totally there for picur, but roughly around that kind of 90-100 supply mark, you're starting to pump a lot of army. And most army is supply dense, not with Mutiling Bane, but for most things. And that's weird. The creep is showing up weird on my screen. So, never mind. It was just a graphical bug. No, it was like weird. Okay. Oh no, that makes sense. The map is the creep on this map is apparently see-through and lets me see what's happening behind it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like I guess with my UI, I don't know, but I can see the units underneath the minimap. So that's interesting. Anyway.
Wow. This just in. Bailmouth is using map hacks.
Yes, just only underneath the minimap. So decent splits, but these are just a lot of Banelings, and I mean, well, never mind. Monk's going to take this fight. I thought it was going to be enough, and these Mutas should be able to fight.
Yeah, I think he should be able to clean this up.
That was a fantastic trade for Monk, though.
Yeah. Still a good trade.
I lied about the whole just rolling over, cleaning everything up. And now we have Banelings coming up. We have Monk ahead at 20 army supply.
Yeah.
And it was picur's goal to go into quick ultras. I mean, well, yeah, he's going into it now. But he's on 3 bases, and he has 300 gas. And that is not a good way to go in ultras. Really, much like in Heart of Storm, especially with Mutiling Bane, you want that 4-base economy, especially with Mutiling Bane, as you need that fourth. You really need that fourth and maybe a macro hatch in order to make sure you're producing lings, because lings are cheap and they are not supply dense. But they are larva dense, so you're really not spending. I mean, look at the mineral bank, right? Picur could have so many more lings, but he doesn't have. I mean, his injects are fine. The problem is he just doesn't have enough hatcheries.
Yeah, doesn't even have a 4th base yet.
Which is not a good spot to be in.
Yeah, I think as long as Monk can keep him on 3 bases, he should be okay going into the later game here. As long as he reacts properly to the Ultralisks.
Did you see? That was an excellent Widow Mine hit,
Yeah.
right? Oh well, that Widow Mine did, or that Medivac did not want to exist. However, we have Monk. He's up 70 army supply, and he has kind of hit that tipping point where
Yeah.
Terran, because Mutiling Bane versus Bio is this seesaw, right? Where you're going, okay, look, we're going to be able to kind of in this equilibrium where I kill stuff of yours, you kill stuff of mine, you're going to keep pushing, I'm not. But Monk's like, you know what? I'm just going to double your army supply through good splits and through denying your fourth, and you're not going to do anything about it. And sure, you're going to get some Ultralisks out, but they're not going to have that nice chitinous plating upgrade that really makes them do work.
Yeah. I would have really liked to see picur go for like a macro hatch in his main, especially with how larva dense, as you said, Lings are. I think that would have really helped going into like getting out these Ultralisks, because he's so behind in supply now that even though he has these Ultralisks out, which deal great with bio, they don't have their chitinous plating upgrade done yet, and there's just so much bio that they can deal with these small amount of Ultralisks. Picur is in a pretty bad position now, especially with all these Liberators coming out, that he has almost no way of dealing with.
There is really no way to deal with it. I mean, those are going to be maybe some good Baneling connections, but Liberators, right? Liberators, I heard they're good units.
Yeah, you can just do nothing against this.
And unfortunately, like the late game, when a Zerg actually has a good economy, is they want to be going into corruptors off of mutas, right? You get like 10 mutas for harassment, and then you get your you get your corruptors out, and they start sniping these Liberators as their intrinsic armor makes it harder for Bio to deal with them. But because of how behind Picur is, I mean, look, he's on his natural, he only has 8 mining patches, and there we go, GG.
Good game.